The Globetrotters are coming back to the Greensboro Coliseum. We're continuing March Madness all the way through the end of March. That's coming up on March 27th. We have Hops Pierce, 2 years on the Globetrotters. Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Welcome to Greensboro.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. You are from New York and played ball in New York, of course.
That's right. I graduated from Tuckahoe High School in 2014. Then I went on to Purchase College in 2018, and that same year I was in the college slam dunk contest. And it was live on ESPN, and so the Globetrotters were watching. And I had a pretty good showing there, and so they called my school and they left a message for me. So when I got back to campus, then they were like, listen, Max, you need to call this number right now. So I called the number back. It was the Globetrotters. Then I went to a workout, and here we are.
Okay, so did you grow up watching the Globetrotters?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very hard not to hear about the Globetrotters, especially growing up a sports fan, particularly a basketball fan. There's so many ways that you can come across the Globetrotters, whether it's Scooby-Doo, Gilligan's Island, there's trivia, there's just so many different ways, that we've been around for 94 years.
Right.
And so we really do have a rich history. We're responsible for breaking the color barrier, the gender barrier within basketball culture, so it really means a lot to me.
So you were a fan, and when you got that call, what was it like to hear that message?
Yeah, it was a surreal moment for me, for my family. Just the fact that they were interested and they found me meant a lot to me.
I bet.
But yeah, it's such a fun experience, and I didn't even know all that it entailed until I officially became a Globetrotter. I was already excited based off of what I had previously known and had heard.
So what does it entail? What do people not know?
I don't think people realize how universally received we are. No matter where we play, whether it's in Europe or it's in Australia, we get the same reception and that universal smile. That's that experience that we're able to bring to the fans no matter where we play, whether we speak the language or not. And I think that it's really special because at one point in time, we were playing for an all-black crowd. And then it got to a point where whites and blacks were in the same seats, watching and laughing at the same thing. And then the Globetrotters kind of helped allow people to realize that, hey, maybe we're not so different after all.
So you feel like you're a part of history?
Yeah, for sure.
And do you have a favorite thing about being on the team?
Oh my gosh, probably the off-court experience. I enjoy the off-court experience more just because it allows me to personally connect with a lot of the fans a little bit more than I can while I'm on the court. Because although fans may be watching on the court, I don't get a chance to speak to anyone specifically or inspire anyone specifically.
But you get to go to schools and
Right.
you get to talk to them after the game,
Exactly.
sign autographs.
Exactly, and I think that's that group of activities that we do on a regular basis is what allows us to continue to be called ambassadors of goodwill. That's definitely one of our aliases.
What would you say to that kid in New York who's thinking about playing, or in Greensboro, who's thinking about playing ball and sees you on the court?
Yeah, well, personally, I can say I was a late bloomer. I was never physically large in stature. And certainly back then, when I was growing up through my high school years, I was definitely a lot smaller. And so one thing I would say, especially to the guys that are, to the smaller guards, is that don't be discouraged. Everyone grows at their own pace, and that's one thing that I had to learn. And I'm very happy that I learned that before I put the ball down, because sometimes people do put the ball down because they're such late bloomers. But you really never know when your time is going to be, and so for that you have to stay persistent.
And you're how tall?
6 feet.
And you can dunk the ball.
Yeah.
as evidence, because the Globetrotters called him after that contest.
Yes.
Hey, congratulations. We look forward to you coming to Greensboro. Coming to Greensboro March 27th right here at the Greensboro Coliseum. Tickets online at Ticketmaster.com.